Welcome back to the Morning Brew. I'm Larry Aarons along with Aaron Muffaletto. I want to make a program correction. Carrie Brandenburg, the Bernalillo County DA, will be on our show on Friday. So she'll be on with us Friday. And then we're going to have tomorrow's show will be State Land Commissioner Ray Powell will be here. We got the heavyweights for you. We're making that happen here on the Morning Brew. Okay, let's take a moment now, and it's time once again to check your local IQ. Yeah. Okay.
Wait for it.
Let me bring in our arts contributor from Local IQ magazine. Here she is, Siobhan Otero.
Good morning. I feel so welcome.
You're a big star, you know.
I try to be, you know. I was just going to say, this is the first Wednesday in weeks Aaron and I aren't matching.
I know. Our memos didn't work this week.
Leave it to the gals to notice those details. I know. We're
yeah, you could text each other. Yeah.
Speaking of gals, this weekend is Mother's Day. Don't forget.
Yes, it is.
And there's a lot going on in the art community as usual, including the opening of Wright's Indian Art on Louisiana. They are celebrating their 106th anniversary and the opening of their new location. They have been around for over 100 years, so before, you know,
it's impressive.
New Mexico was actually a state. You know, I forget we're only 100 years old, but they initially started as a trading post in what is now downtown Albuquerque on 4th and Gold Street by an entrepreneur, Charles Wright from Kansas, and they have since then remained in the hands of only two families, the Wrights and the Chernoffs, and they have grown into a sophisticated art gallery. They've been representing the best in the Native community for over 100 years. And for this event, they're going to have everything going on. They're going to have a fashion show by designer Penny Singer. They're going to have live Native music. They're going to have dance, including a performance by prize-winning hoop dancer and former Cirque du Soleil performer, Nakota Lawrence. And they're going to have, there's a flyer with more information. It's May 11th and 12th, Saturday and Sunday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And there's also going to be a live auction with all proceeds benefiting First Nations Community Health Source, which benefits health and social services to the urban Native community. And all art is local and dealt directly by the artists, so it's going to be outdoors. You'll get to enjoy the sunshine with your moms or your...
How many years?
106 years.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
So imagine coming here on a wagon and opening up a trading post, and it's still now a gallery.
And this was kind of a rough and tumble town.
Yeah, the
it was
Wild
a
West.
rough, Wild West railroad town back then.
Right.
And they're opening this trading post 106 years ago.
Yeah, I think
we don't
it's
have
great
a lot of
they're
businesses
still
that's been
around.
around that long.
Yeah, they should get an award.
They should, some kind of award. That's fantastic.
Yeah, so it's a cool event. So
perfect event for Mother's Day. Bring mom in and buy her some art while you're there.
yeah, and it'd be cool to meet the artist directly, you know, and have
Indeed.
this art directly from the artist. So speaking of
artists,
we have one.
This is my guest, Jodie Herrera, who I've seen around the creative scene before, and I had a chance to see her artwork at Josh Schreiber's Pop-Up 505 event, which of course
I heard that went great.
It was so much fun.
It was a lot of fun, a lot of fun. It was a huge success, and I saw her artwork, and I said, you have to come on the Morning Brew. I have to show off your talent.
She pulled my arm.
Yeah, dragging her in.
Well, Jodie, you're originally from Cuba, New Mexico.
Well, my father's family's from there.
I see.
I actually grew up in Taos and moved here about 10 years ago.
Fantastic.
So, yeah.
And I was reading your bio that was your mother or grandmother put a pencil in your hand when you were very young.
18 months old, right?
And you started knocking out some drawings, huh?
Yeah, definitely. My mother, she's actually really responsible for my artistic creativity. She really harbored it, and my father as well. He gave a whole wall in our family home dedicated to my murals and whatnot. So
Isn't that
I was
beautiful?
constantly
so
drawing.
cool.
I love that family support.
I know,
Yeah.
me too.
And your family's been around for hundreds of years.
Yeah, they've been in New Mexico for over 400 years. My mother's family is actually from Santa Fe and Coyote.
Okay.
Yeah, so always northern New Mexico.
I grew up in northern New Mexico at Ojo Caliente too, so
Nice.
I know those areas very
Beautiful
well.
area.
Yes, very nice.
Soak in the Springs.
Huh?
Soak in the Springs.
Yes,
yeah.
you know.
Cool.
So tell us a little bit about your art. What's your vision? What's your? We're going to see a couple of images here, and we saw this last week, and that's very, very alluring.
Thank
Last
you.
week you called it
Beautiful.
hypnotic.
What's this called?
This is called Bows and Bones. So basically it's an homage to the female and her creativity. So it comes from her head, and it's also this very flightful, kind of beautiful aura around her consciousness. And then also she's growing really strong antlers, so she has some kind of force with her.
Wow.
So, and then she's also contacting the viewer and asking them to, like, engage with that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where do you get your inspiration for these drawings?
When I was growing up, a lot of when I became inspired to draw the female form came with, it was really funny. This is kind of funny, but I drew a lot from comic books and a lot from like Lowrider magazine and stuff like that, and learned the anatomy through that, and through learning the anatomy and like kind of trying to connect to the feminine form, I try to connect with the feminine and the deep-rooted feminine within all of us. And my last thesis show was really, really different. It was kind of basically a discovery and exploration through the female. So what happened was I found different females that I wanted to portray, that I actually I looked up to them. And so, I basically asked them a question: what is your secret? Like, what is something that has made you who you are today? And these people were extremely beautiful, strikingly beautiful, but at the same time really humble. So I was wondering what that combination of both worlds what happened to them in their life. And a lot of them exposed to me, the ones that were a part of my project, they exposed to me that they were, they went through something really detrimental and tormenting, or, something really hard, everything from drug abuse to sexual abuse. It was pretty tough. But so they exposed their secret to me, and then I engaged with them in a way where I told their story through different mediums.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's very touching.
Yeah.
I think
really
this
is.
image shows kind of that, concept of your art, representing the innocent and
Yeah, but also the strength.
We have another image here, and this is Lone Iris, if I'm right here.
Yeah. So this is the beginning part of the project. So I told you I expressed it through 3 different mediums. The first medium is, the female, their personal story, what had happened. So before that had happened to them, this is an image of who they were before that had happened to them. So an image of their innocence. And this female, she spent a lot of time with her grandmother, and Iris has reminded her of her grandmother. So that was before this thing had happened to her. So it was a voyeuristic thing, looking into this window of who she was before.
And let's put up the next one. And these are either briefcases, suitcases, you can tell us. And they plug in, obviously.
Yeah, they're light boxes, and I make them out of old vintage suitcases. And basically, it's they're exposing what had happened to them. So this is part of the healing process. So after this thing has happened to them, they want to heal. So in order to do that, they have to express themselves and show what had happened to them. So basically, I found some kind of symbol that was of their story, and I put it in a light box, and they're basically exposing their baggage, literally, because it's a suitcase baggage. So.
Very
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
that
was a great
made a great
piece of art.
display at the
Yeah.
pop-up
I
505.
like the baggage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Your imagery is striking, and when you hear the story behind it.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Now, where can we see your art?
We just had the pop-up 505, and I have some other art shows coming, but right now I'm doing a lot of commission work, and doing a lot of murals around town and stuff like that. So the next show I'm actually going to be probably in the next month or so, but who knows where it's going to be.
Oh.
Yeah.
So are there any current murals in Albuquerque we can find your art at?
Yeah, there's a couple. There's one behind Faye's that I really like that I would advise people to go to. It's right behind Faye's, and I did a mural project with I don't know, Ernest Doty, and
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Great to have you on. Thanks
you.
for taking us behind what your art is and giving us the backstory.
Yeah, this is amazing.
you.
Yeah, very, very nice.
Beautiful
And
art.
Siobhan, thank you for being here.